Good morning, students. So, again, we have to discuss now page 42 of your chapter, that is Agriculture, grade 10th. So, earlier we have discussed food crops, then we discussed non food crops, and in our last video, I discussed rubber, fiber crop, that is cotton, and jute. So, now on the same page, I have to discuss technological and institutional reforms. So earlier also we have seen students that agriculture has been practiced in India from thousands of years. So this is economic activity, age old economic activity agriculture is, and sustained uses of land, that is the continuous use of land. So we are practicing this economic activity from thousands of years, so it means sustained uses of land. We are continuously using our land resources without compatible techno institutional changes. So it means if we want to bring reform, if we want to uplift our agriculture, then in both the fields we have to bring reforms, that is in technology and in institutions also. Otherwise it will hinder the pace of our agriculture development. Otherwise agriculture development, the agriculture growth will be very slow. So after this, in spite of the development of the sources of irrigation, in spite after that we started with our first 5 year plan, that is 1951. At that time the thrust of our government was on the development of the dams, construction of the this dams, so as to provide irrigation facilities to the farmers, because agriculture was the main base of our economy. And still now, even doing after that much also, the sources of irrigation, most of the farmers they are lacking. They are still dependent on the monsoon and the natural fertility of the soil in order to carry out the agriculture. And for growing population, this poses a very serious challenge. Agriculture, which provides a livelihood to more than 60% of the population, so more than 60% of the people are engaged in agriculture, so we need more serious technical and institutional reforms. So we are on page number 43 now, students. So in this page now we have to see the institutional reforms, the technical reforms which was carried out by our government. So in this collectivization, consolidation of land holding, cooperation, abolition of zamindari, this were given priority to bring about the institutional reforms in country after independence. So under collectivization means collective ownership of the land, because if fragmentation is there, if land holdings are fragmented, then very less output is there from the land holding. So in order to increase the output from the land fields, collectivization of the holdings, land holding, consolidation of the land holdings, this was suggested. Then cooperation, going for the cooperatives, then zamindari was abolished. So these were given priority, and to bring about the institutional reforms in country after independence. Land reforms was the main focus of our first 5 year plan. So in 1951 we started, and 1951 and 56 was the first 5 year plan. So land reforms was the main focus of our government at that time. Now due to right of inheritance, students, land again lead to fragmentation of the land holdings. So due to right of inheritance, this has already led to fragmentation of the land holding, necessitating the consolidation of the land holding. So I told you, due to the this law of inheritance, the land further gets divided. Suppose a farmer is there and is having the two sons, so land will be divided between the two sons. Then further, if these two sons are having two sons, then again further the land got divided. So this is fragmentation of the land holding, and output from this kind of land holdings is very less. So in order to increase the output and to implement the modern farming method, we have to go for the consolidation of the land holdings. So this thrust was given during the first 5 year plan, and the laws of the land reforms were enacted, but laws of implementation were lacking and lukewarm. So government, they make the laws, but their implementation always lack. And the government of India, they started upon introducing agriculture reforms to improve the Indian agriculture. Then we have seen the green revolution. We ushered into the era of green revolution in the decades of 1960s and 70s, and we started using the package technology. Okay, package technology in the form of use of HYB seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, irrigation facilities, modern technology in form of tractors, threshers, combines. So all these we started using, and we have seen the effect. Also effect was very good, and the farmers, they used to produce the bumper crops, so the standard of the living of the farmer improved. We became self sufficient in the food grain production, and then it got a boost. The agro based industries also got a boost due to this. And then we have seen the white revolution, that is the Operation Flood. So these also we have seen in the case of milk production. So these were some of the strategies which were initiated, which were started to improve the Indian agriculture. Okay, the Green Revolution, then the Operation Flood related to milk. But this too led to concentration of development in few selected areas. So if we have advantages of Green Revolution, we have certain disadvantages also. So Green Revolution was concentrated in selected areas only. Its benefits were there in the selected areas only. Then we have seen that it led to the land degradation, excessive use of fertilizers, pesticides. All this have led to the excessive irrigation. So all this led to the land degradation. The salinity in the soil increased. The waterlogging problem, it increased. The underground water table, it gone down. So this problem we has faced as a repercussion of the Green Revolution. So therefore, in 1980s and 1990s, comprehensive land development program was initiated, which include both the institutional and technological reforms. So, government started with providing crop insurance against drought, flood, cyclone, fire, disease. So, these kind of schemes were introduced, whereby protecting the crop of the farmer by providing crop insurance schemes. Then establishment of the Grameen banks institutions, they started setting up. Expansion of the formal source of credit in the rural area. This is the need of the hour, because our farmer, he's dependent on the informal source of credit, and this is the main source of exploitation in our case. Okay, so Indian farmer is, you can say, less educated, unaware. So they got trapped in the trap of the money lender, and they exploit them by charging high rate of interest. So this money lender comes under informal source of credit. So these things were started. So banks were started, Grameen banks were started, then cooperative society, so that farmers, they can come together, they can pool their resources, and then they can form the cooperative societies. So these initiatives were taken. So banks, they started providing loan facilities at the cheap rate of interest to the farmers. So these were the important steps taken in this direction. Then another steps, Kisan credit card. So this scheme was introduced. Personal accident insurance scheme was introduced, so that the farmer of our country should not feel alienated. So these are some of the schemes introduced by the government for the benefit of our farmers. Moreover, special weather bulletins, so as to tell about the weather forecast to the Indian farmers. So, and then the agriculture programs for the farmers introduced and started on radio and television, like Kisan Bhaiyon ke liye. So in under these programs, the farmers, they make the farmers aware about the soil requirements, climate requirements of the specific crops, of another high value crop, so that they can go for the cropping of the similar. So government also announced MSP, minimum support price. So this is also incentive to the farmer in order to go for the higher cultivation. So this is remunerative and procurement prices for the important crops to check the exploitation of the farmer by the speculators and the middlemen. So government fixes the price. Government says that yes, this is the MSP, and in order to stop the exploitation of the farmer, that this is the price, this is assurance given to the farmer, this is the price on which you will be selling your crop, so that no exploitation is there of the farmer by the middleman. Because the middleman, they can form the cartels, they can go for the cartelization, they can form the groups, and they can exploit the farmer, and farmer will not have any option. They have to even sell their produce at the lower prices. So to safeguard the interest of the farmer, MSP, the government ensures that the FCI procures the produce from the farmers at the MSP. So these kind of initiatives taken by the government of India to support our farmers. Then now on page 43 we have to see Budhan and Gramdhan movement. So now on same page, students, 43, we have to discuss Budhan and Gramdhan now. So Mahatma Gandhi ji declared Vinoba Bhave as his spiritual hire. means though the person who value his religious ideas, ethics, and the person who will carry forward also his Gandhian ideology, his philosophy, all these things. So Vinoba Bhave was that person. And Vinoba Bhave, he also participated in the Satyagraha, as you know, as one of the most foremost satyagrahis. So he was in front when Satyagraha movement was started, and he was one of the uh, you can say the follower of Gandhiji's concept of Gram Swaraj. Okay, Gram Swaraj means the self rule of the village. So to make the village economy self sufficient, according to Gandhiji, the development should be from bottom to top. So we should empower our villages, we should make the economy of our villages self sufficient, so that we should stop the migration. This many opportunities we should create in our villages, in our rural economy, so that there should not be migration from the rural to the urban areas. The villages should be self sufficient within themselves only. This much economy, this much infrastructure we have to develop, and we have to go for the production by masses rather than mass production. So this was the concept of the Gandhiji Gram Swaraj, empowering the villages at the grassroots level, so that development can be carried out to the higher level. So means to make the primary unit of the country, the grassroots level, as a more strong, their economy more strong. So this concept he was spreading of the Gandhiji. And after Gandhiji assassinated, then Vinoba Bhave, he undertook the Padyatra to spread Gandhiji's message, and he covered almost the entire country. So he was walking throughout the country in order to carry the message of the Gandhiji and to spread the message of the Gandhiji. Once, when he was in Andhra Pradesh, and some poor landless villagers, they came forward and demanded some village land for the economic well-being. So they asked him, Vinoba Bhave, that if some land can be given to them by the government, allocated to them, so that they can start with the agriculture. Vinoba Bhave could not promise it to them immediately, but assured that he will talk to the government. And in the meanwhile, suddenly one person, Shri Ramchandra Reddy, he stood up and he offered 80 acres of his land to be distributed among 80 landless villagers. So this act was known as Budan. Okay, so the people who were self-sufficient, who were having surplus of land, they started coming forward and started donating their lands. Later he traveled and he introduced his idea widely all over the India, and some zamindars, as a consequence, some zamindars and owners of the many large villages, they came in front and they offered to distribute some of their villages among the landless. So it was known as Gram Dan. So they started distributing their villages, okay, donating their villages. And however, many landowners, they choose to provide some part of their own land, keeping in mind that the government will introduce the land ceiling act. So this fear was there among the landowners also, that government will someday come and will acquire the land, so it is better to distribute yourself only. So this, but the Budhan Gramdan movement initiated by Vinoba Bhave is known as blood race revolution. So in one mark it can be asked, so please underline this thing.